What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we always start this show by being transparent. Yesterday was a good day. Overall, 3-1. Magic money line ended up getting there. First half under in the Bulls game was good. Should have doubled up on that with the full game. And I had the over in the Vandy and Alabama game. So those were the three winners. The one loser was I don't know. I can't remember. I wanted to just enjoy the wins yesterday, Rob. But I know I had one of them. So hopefully you had a good day yesterday too. How you doing today?
I am good, Skee. Association was 1-2 yesterday because I got a little bit greedy. Actually, 2-2 because I got greedy. Um, Phoenix, the best bet we left here for the show, wins, but then got greedy and played Phoenix team total over as well. Missed that by a point and a half, 118 and a half, only got to 117. Won the Golden State total, full game by a hair. So we'll take that and wound up losing with the San Antonio Spurs team total over against the Lakers. So 2-2 day in the NBA. We'll look to this 4-game card to see what we can do with this one.
All right, let's get to it. Not a whole lot to talk about, but we do have some money to be made here. First up, looks like Pacers and Hornets opened up -3.5 for the Hornets. Now 4.5, even maybe a five popping up there. Total opened up 233.5. Looks like 232. That's what we'll call it right now. For the Hornets, LaMelo, Brandon Miller, Salawan, all probable. No Cockburner, Plumlee, or Williams. For the Pacers, Nimhart was downgraded to questionable. Jackson, Matherin, and Toppin are all out. Man, Vino, this Pacers team. I mean, I have Pacers win total under. I'm happy about that, but they just really can't catch a break for real. They get healthy for maybe one game. Matherin, Nim are back on the injury report. I think they've lost like 12 or 13 games in a row now. Um, it is very hard to trust them. You have the Hornets here playing on a back to back, playing their fifth game in 7 nights, still favored by a couple possessions. I should tell you all you need to know about this Pacers team right now. So I I couldn't back the Pacers. I understand situationally it makes sense, but they're just not showing me anything, Ravino. So probably would still be Hornets. Hornets also have covered every single game on a back to back this year. And one of them they were a favorite. So it'll be Hornets or nothing, Vino. What do you think?
And they're 12-3 against the spread their last 15. And there's no hotter point spread team than Charlotte. So the technical trends kind of negate a lot of the scheduling stuff, Ski, the rest factor for Indiana. And of course, that injury to Nembhard, crucial for Indiana. I guess you get a lot more minutes out of TJ McConnell, which TJ McConnell's all well and good, but he's just, they're always shy point guards on this team. So yeah, they come close the other night against Cleveland, 120 to 116. Doesn't work out for Charlotte. Last night, heartbreaker, lose by one, and they really didn't get good shooting performances. So with all those guys back in the lineup here and the minutes not being extended last night, I know it's 3rd and 4 and it's back to back, but they didn't have to travel at least. You stay at home. Kneppel didn't play well. LaMelo didn't really shoot well at all. 1 of 7 from three, 7 of 20 overall. You get a little bit of a bounce back from those guys, and I could see the Charlotte side. If I had to play, and plus, like I say, the hot streak is just they're crazy good right now at 12-3, and probably want to atone for last night's 1-point loss. I feel like whenever a team loses a game in heartbreaking fashion like that, what they really want to do is get back out there and get a win. I didn't play. I could see why the Charlotte money is there. I could also see why people would argue Pacers because the scheduling is so bad for Charlotte right now. I mean, if there were any fatigue to be had, it would be with them. But again, they held back on minutes last night and didn't really shoot the ball well in the 1-point loss. I think they bounced back a little bit tonight. Maybe an offensive play here, isolating Hornets team total because Indiana's defense has just been lousy for the most part. And don't worry about laying points. Just have Charlotte try and go out there and score. That number, for what it's worth, is, let's pull it up here. At this point, 118.5 on the Charlotte side. You can still get 117.5. So, to get to 118 with a better shooting night, not that difficult, I don't think.
Yeah, I could see the Hornets just doing what they want in this game, but I don't know. Maybe I just need little bit more time to actually put some money on this one. Cavs and T Wolves opened up -4 for the Wolves. Looks like it's down. I'll call it 2.5. There is a two out there though. Total open 238, and that's down as low as 236.5. Looking at the injuries, Anthony Edwards is questionable and Terrence Shannon Jr. is out. For the Cavs, Tyson is probable. You had Garland get downgraded to questionable. Nance also questionable. No Struess, Dean Wade, or Livingston. Um, Vino, this Wolves team, I mean, you're kind of just asking either team to win, but this Wolves team has not been good as a favorite. I know that. Um, just it's hard to trust them in that role for me. Now, Ant last game was just like this, and then he still played, so I wouldn't be surprised if he went out there and played tonight. Um, but this Cavs team too, like Cavs were pathetic for a long while this season, and then I want to say the game before Christmas and Christmas, or is it Christmas game and the game after Christmas, one of the two ways. Like they were competitive, like I mentioned in that game on Christmas versus the Knicks, and they started to play good basketball. I think a couple games before that. So they still been playing good basketball to me. There was one game where everybody sat out, I think, and they lost. But other than that, I feel like I've liked what I've seen from this Cavs team, and they're getting healthier. Um, Obviously, I say that, but Garland is downgraded. That's not great, but they can still win without Garland. I think I think the Cavs are the right side in this game, Rob. How do you see Cavs and Timberwolves?
Yeah, reluctantly, I might look to Cleveland. But if Anthony Edwards is a go, then I'm not sure. Minnesota absolutely tattooed Miami the other night. Huge 122-94, something I didn't really see coming. Miami was, let's give Miami a little bit of time, though, or at least a little bit of leeway on that loss, because I think they're working Tyler Hero back into the rotation in that particular game. But still, you're not supposed to get beat by 28 points or 30, 28 points by the Timberwolves, who hadn't really shown that separation ability against anybody this year. So I don't know if it's a half of a buy sign on Minnesota or not. I could see the buy sign on Cleveland just by the results, especially straight up. If you just look at straight up, they're 4-1 their last five. It hasn't correlated to point spread because they've been favored 2-3 against the number. But certainly all you're asking them to do is win this game. So I could see that side. I still would want to know what the status of Anthony Edwards in. It was the first game that I kind of X'd off today, Skee. So I have no interest. I will let you collect from the cashier on that one if you want. But I like this next game we're going to talk about a little bit better.
If Anthony Edwards and Garland were out, that would really be good for this bet right here. Brian says under. Yeah, those two would be good for that bet for sure. We'll see who ends up playing and how it shakes out tonight. Heat and Bulls opened up -5.5 for the Heat. Looks like 7, even 7.5 out there. Total open 241.5, and it has come down. I'm seeing it as low as 237. Injury report for the Heat. Jaime Jaquez is probable. For Chicago, Herter's questionable. Collins, Giddy, and Smith are all out. So it looks like the Bulls are on a back to back, but they will have Kobe White this time around. And it looks like Zealous is going to play too. Um, that will be, some help for their offense. They didn't look so hot yesterday. Miami, man, when I look at the numbers, it tells me they're still number one in pace. but I just feel like they haven't been playing as fast as it was earlier in the year. Um, I don't know. This total, I guess, I don't know. I'm a little conflicted here. The one thing I'll say is I know we don't have Giddy, but the one role Chicago's been good at all year has been home dog. I think they've covered 7 out of 9. That's the only role I think they've been good in this year. In the Heat, I really don't view them as eh, expecting to lay and win by 10 points on the road. So those two things that I just said make me like the Bulls. Anything from you here, Vino?
Yeah, I'll talk from the other side of the equation, the total piece of this game, Skee, where I played the Miami team total over 122.5. And the reason why I couldn't play Miami is because of what you just mentioned, that 7-2 mark that the Bulls have as a home underdog. I didn't want to bet into that. Kobe White is probable tonight, and Chicago might be able to score, but that doesn't matter when all I'm looking at is Miami to score here. Don't like the Chicago defense to begin with. Don't like it on back to backs for sure. Like the fact that Miami's got everybody available here. They haven't had this type of depth in the rotation in a while. Hero, as I mentioned, came back the other night. They played terrible, only scored 94 points. Anybody who's ever seen me on your show before knows that I'm pretty much a bounce back type of handicapper. It's one of the things I incorporate when there's a high scoring offensive team that underachieves. I feel like the next game, the positive regression comes, and it certainly could come against a defense like this. So, really, the Bulls side of the equation, other than their defense, didn't matter to me. I think Miami can score on them. I think this game will be pace filled. For what it's worth, you're right. The Chicago offense, the last 3 or 4 games has not been good, low scoring. But I'm going to play in fact, I'm not going to, I already did play Miami up and over 122.5. So I like that side of this game.
122.5. All right. Last game on the slate, we have Mavs and Jazz. Opened up -5.5 for Dallas. Looks like 6.5. Total open 241.5. Looks like, I mean, it's all over the place. We'll call it 241 right now. Looking at the injury report, Williams probable, PJ Washington doubtful, for Utah, Kevin Love questionable, Niang out. This is a back-to-back for this Jazz team. They played overtime versus OKC last night. So a little bit of a tough spot. We're on the road yesterday, returning home, so a little bit of travel there. And that's the reason why Dallas is -6.5, situational spot. Now, Dallas, for what it's worth, they have won their last couple games. And those 2 games, if I'm not mistaken, Rob, they've started Cooper Flag at point guard. And it wasn't so great earlier in the year, but maybe they're figuring out how to play that way now. Um, I still, I wouldn't want to trust them to lay this number. I get the situation. I understand. It's completely a Dallas spot. But Utah has just been so resilient at home. Like they've been so good at home in this spot as a home dog, catching points. And they're so young. I just question how much the back to back bothers them. So I think I can't lay 6.5 with Utah right now. I mean with Dallas right now. It'll be Utah for me. And I think, if I like Utah, I gotta like points, Rob, I mean that's how they play at the house. On the road, not so many points. At home, fireworks. So I do think it's fireworks tonight. I think Utah probably covers. What do you think about Mavs and Jazz?
Yeah, still could get there with that Skee. That's the only angle I'm looking at here. I eliminated the Dallas favorite role here. They were a favorite the other night in Sacramento when they only won by 2. Didn't cover, won the game, but didn't cover. I
Mhm.
remember us going over that game and saying there's no way you could trust Dallas to lay 5 or whatever they were laying, 5.5. Zach LaVine
Yep.
had come back. Nobody scored in that game. So maybe Dallas plays a little bit better offense this time around. Or maybe the fact that they're still trying the Cooper Flag experiment to start games at point guard hinders their offense a little bit. I'll say this: the reason that kept me off Utah here is the extended minutes were played by their two best guys last night. 43, almost 44 minutes from Markkanen, 43 minutes for George. Those two guys mean everything. If there's any type of fatigue on a back-to-back with travel and those two guys have off nights, then I can't trust Utah to score what they should be able to score. I'm still thinking that maybe on the injury report, Markkanen shows up as a rest guy tonight because he played 44 minutes last night or close to. So it's hard for me to make a case either way. Didn't want Dallas, even though the situation screams Dallas. The point spread is too high for me. And then the other way, the game over because, we've talked about it all year long. We like this Utah team, full game totals at home over. I could still see it, and I might still be able to get there. But that's the only way I would look. Haven't bet it yet.
Yeah, I definitely think that that's the way to go. Justin Sports asking, completely irrelevant, but do you guys prefer and like the modern day NBA or prefer the older, better era? I mean, yeah, you could just come out and say this shit sucks. This product we have right now, it's nothing like how it used to be. You made me start sounding like the old guy around here.
I know.
Yeah, this new shit is terrible, Vino.
You're not even that old, dude. You're young. If you're me and you say that, and I always have to preface it when I go to like defend Michael Jordan, I'm like, I hate to be the old guy in the room, but you know what? You guys didn't see it. MJ would score 50 a game nowadays, Anyway,
Yeah,
to
you
the
would.
question, to the point of that question, I do agree that the brand of basketball was better than what we see nowadays. And as handicappers, Skee, if we talk about it from that angle, and you and I talk about it off air, we talk about it on air, modern day handicapping is difficult with the way these guys decide whether they're going to play or not play. Who really cares? Who really doesn't? It's difficult. And for what it's worth, I blame Greg Popovich. He's the guy who invented load management, and it's worked its way to what we have right now.
Yeah, it's a lot of people I could blame, but I'll be here all day. I'll be here all day.
Steve Kerr.
And then yeah. And to your point about Jordan, though, I am not too old, but I was watching basketball at a young age. Like even when you know, I was in diapers, I was watching basketball. Even like I got to watch some of the stuff from a couple years before I was born because my dad would videotape the basketball games. He would videotape the Bulls games because he liked Jordan. Other than that, he liked the Lakers. So I got to watch all the good stuff, Rob. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, those guys. Every time Charles Barkley pops off, I just say he's not wrong. He's just not wrong.
All right.
Oh man.
Good job for today. Got through all four games. We'll move it up. Or actually, before we do best bets, let's put this up on the screen. Have a graphic for what we mentioned yesterday. 7-day all access. You can get it for just $69. So it comes out to a little bit under $10 per day if you want to get every pick from Rob Vino or myself. Now, Vino, with that said, I'm gonna move it over to best bets. I'll ask you, is there anything else you'd like to promote? And if you have a best bet for the show, we'd love to hear it. If you do not, all good.
Yeah, promotion wise, Ski, I would just reiterate that's a heck of a deal that WagerTalk has right there that you just posted 7 days for the price of three, especially with the amount of games in all four overlapping sports that there are this weekend. So if you want to try somebody out, myself or Skee, especially, go ahead and I would take advantage of that package for that price. Best bets, good last night with Phoenix or yesterday's show with Phoenix. So let's see if we can run it back to back here. I do like the Miami team total over 122.5. It was my strongest bet of the day. It's also a client release, so I'll share it here for free. I just think Miami's going to get to 123 or better. I described why the situation exists. And one thing I didn't mention, Ski, is the one time they played this year, Miami scored 140 against the Bulls. So it's a team that they've had scoring success against. So give me Miami team total over 122.5.
Good stuff from Vino. And for me, I gave you guys what I think the Magic yesterday, the Wizards the day before. So we had a couple winners. Today's gonna be one of those days where I can't leave a best bet. I do have a 5% today. I don't have very many. I think the last one I did have was like in November. Um, but yeah, yeah, I think so at least. But I have a 5% play that I really love for tonight. 12-0 angle going back to 2003, and that's why I can't give it out here on the show. So honestly, I think that deal I showed earlier is better than just going to get the one play. You'll get 7 days, and we got some good stuff coming up. So, Vino, appreciate you like always taking the time to do the show and break down the games with us. Definitely helps my process. I'm sure it helps everybody else out there as well. Um, Chat, we appreciate you guys. There goes Kristen saying thanks, guys, and everyone hit the like button. Yeah, it'll help out the show. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button for us, and we will be back tomorrow. I'm pretty sure we'll have a much bigger slate than today. So, best of luck, everybody, on all your action, and we will catch you all tomorrow.